What's up, party people? It's Keys Dan with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time. DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you could have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Let me entertain you. Make your next thing a big one. Speaking of entertainment, today on the program, I got Gary Matheny. Oh, yeah, my loyal listener knows who Gary Matheny is. Our man from Macon, Georgia, now making his way in, I think he's in Cleveland, Tennessee. Cleveland, Tennessee, and so the surrounding area. So it's pretty close to Nashville, and ready to keep it going. The last time we talked, let's see. Well, he's been back at it. Okay, he was one of the good guys way back in the 60s, and now he's back at it, doing his thing. And we're going to catch up with Gary Matheny in the next few minutes. Very excited, singer songwriter. Yeah. Well, this week's shows, I have one public show that you are all invited to. Yes, you're invited. You are invited to the RAB in Conway, Arkansas, the Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam on Friday night, 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the a.m. Yes, I said karaoke. It's a dance party and it's a karaoke show. I don't provide the entertainment. You provide the entertainment. I'm going to push a button for you and you're going to sing a song. And you get to entertain the people. Isn't that exciting? Have you wanted to sing on stage? Well, we got a stage for you at the RAB in Conway, Arkansas. Now, that's Friday from 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the a.m. They got the full bar, kitchen's open, good food in the kitchen, good food, good drinks, good people, not necessarily in that order. They got 10 diamond-style pool tables, which sounds pretty impressive, and they look pretty impressive, too. In fact, on Friday night, we got a pool tournament. So if you want to try your hand at playing pool and possibly make some money while you're doing it, while you're waiting to sing on stage, you come on out to the RAB, Conway, Arkansas, Friday night. Come and sing. And then on Saturday, I have a wedding. Oh, I have a long wedding. Oh, I have a gospel Christian infused. They're going to have some Christian music, some of that poppy type music. Kind of excited, to see if I can make this work. But that's what the group is all about. That's what I do. I make it bend to your style. Doesn't all have to be. I could play speed metal and rap if you want. I've done those weddings, but I'm kind of stoked. I think it's going to be a very uplifting type wedding. They want some good, clean music that makes people feel good. Yeah. I think we can handle that. I'm very, very excited. But unless you're invited, you cannot come. And the only reason I mention it is because I get to be part of people's big day, part of people's wedding days. So excited. People at their best times and get to make their help them make their times better. It's not all about me. It's about us. We work together to make a really nice wedding. So excited. Got the RAB Friday night. Got the wedding on Saturday. Got Gary Matheny coming up right about now. I got him on Skype. So if you're listening to the audio version of this, I encourage you to check out the youtube.com/user/KeysDan. Skyping Gary Matheny now. All right, there he is. Smarter than the machine.
Yeah. Hey, sometimes.
Mr. Gary Matheny, man, it's been a while. I think we talked at the beginning of this year, maybe March. My man from Macon, Georgia, all the way in Cleveland, Tennessee. I'm guessing that's where you still are, making your way around this with this world of ours. But I'm wondering, has things changed in the short time since the last time we chatted? Give me an update. What's going on with Gary Matheny these days?
Oh, gosh, let's see. Well, I recently came back from the studio in Nashville where we recorded a new single that I'm waiting to come out the first of the year. And it's really something different than what I've done before. When I was talking to the producer, my music producer, the other day, I said, what genre would you put this song in? I said, I kind of thought it was R&B. And he said, no, man, it's more blue-eyed soul. And I said, dang, that's pretty good. I didn't realize I was doing that. So it's titled Get In Where You Fit In. And I'm hoping to have it out first of the year. You know, right now with Christmas going on, there's no music being played but Christmas music. So it's no sense to bring a new single out right now. So we're just going to sit on it to the first of the year.
Well, I think you got it. You got Christmas covered up already. You got Christmas long ago that you did about 10 months ago, sitting there on the YouTube, waiting for people to play them at their holiday gatherings and making sure that people get peppy. I think that's a great idea. For a musician. And I know I've said it before on this podcast, so people are, my loyal listener is very tired of me saying it. But if you're going to write a song, throw in a Christmas song, throw in a holiday song, throw in something that's, that will come around every year on that special season. And that way you'll make a couple more bucks on your Spotify, maybe about a half a penny on your Spotify.
Oh, hey, listen, if that much, Keys, if that much. As a matter of fact, I had a new Christmas song that I was all set to record this year, but other things got in the way, and so I just couldn't get it out this year. But next year, I've got a new one that I'm wanting to bring out, and I think it's going to be a pretty good one. So we'll wait to see.
Well, I'm looking forward to the latest offering. The bookends that I can see on your YouTube are, well, not quite bookends. They're two songs written with a girl as the title. You have Juliet from 10 months ago that you put out there. Very sweet. Right. And you know, what genre would that be? I think Americana. I think a folky type Americana type of song that you could find in the Great American Song book. And I think we talked about that last time, is what if 100 years from now people are singing Gary Matheny songs? Oh yeah. I remember the good things that we were talking about. But the latest offering is Rosalie. It's a beautiful song. It got a girl in a red dress. You know, I'm a very visual guy. I mentioned that last time as well. A girl in a red dress flowing like a Spanish senorita. Tell me about Rosalie.
Right. Now, that dancer, that flamenco dancer, is actually a lady from Argentina. I was looking on the internet when I wrote it and was doing the video looking for someone, and I came across her. I found a way to contact her through Facebook and Messenger, and I told her, I said, look, here's the song, and I sent it to her, and I said, would you allow me to use your actual live footage as a video? And she said, I would be more than happy. So that is actually a award-winning flamenco dancer from Argentina that is dancing there. And she is absolutely talented and beautiful and just as sweet a lady in the world. But she was very gracious to let me do that, and I'm pleased with it. As a matter of fact, it's funny that you say that because I won Artist of the Year with Americana Music this year, for last year, with Juliet. And they awarded me Americana Artist of the Year. And on top of that, Keys, they are inducting me into their Hall of Fame this coming May.
Fantastic news. Well deserved.
What a shock, yes.
Oh, my goodness. Wait, and which Hall of Fame is this one? Is this the ISSA or the
Academy of Music out of Los Angeles?
The Academy of Music out of Los Angeles.
Academia.
Okay. Now, for those that don't remember you as one of the good guys way back when, yes, he was one of the good guys. I know people are looking at your face if they're watching the video screen. They're going, he looks familiar. I think I saw him back in the 60s as one of the good guys. Yeah, that's him. It's Gary Matheny. It is. It's him right there. Right there. It's him. But, you gave it up. All right, for a quick recap, you gave it up for about 40 years because life happened. You married your high school sweetheart. How things going with your honey?
Oh, man, great. We've been married 51 years this year, this past September, and just loving every minute of our life. We're traveling together. She's my biggest critic, but she's also my most outspoken fan. It's funny, we were somewhere the other day, and someone said, I see on your shirt that you do music. I said, yeah, I'm a musician. And before I could even get it out of my mouth good, my wife had pulled my picture. I said, yeah, he was Songwriter of the Year last year with International Singer Songwriters. And I'm thinking, I don't even get a chance to say, hey, I'm a singer-songwriter before she's done flashed that out. So she is my best fan, and I just don't feel comfortable telling folks that I won this and I won that. So I let her do it. And I've got our best friends. He's that way too. He'll say, hey, I'm his bodyguard. Everywhere he goes, I go, and he's a singer-songwriter.
Well, I mean, the way you do it,
Keys, man, fun life.
No, the way you do it, Gary Matheny, is very subtly. You got merch. If you look on your Facebook page, on your website, you got merch to sell. It's got a nice logo, like a little silhouette of a guitar with Gary Matheny written all nice and cursive. Is that your handwriting, or is that a font?
No, that was actually that's not even my writing. The guy who did my website, he said, listen, that's not your writing, I know, but I don't want someone to take it and be able to copy it. And he said, so that's just a fictitious writing, but it's got your name and it's nice. So I said, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, but what you do is art can imitate life, or life can imitate art, and you could start signing your name that way.
That's true. That is so true. Yes.
Yeah, fantastic. No, but all right, here's something that I saw and I heard, and I thought it was so appropriate. Over the weekend, we had Veterans Day. I was over at the Choctaw VFW playing some music for the veterans, for the people at the VFW. It doesn't necessarily have to be veterans, but the nice thing about going to a VFW is you get those stories. Okay, I wish there didn't have to be war, but you get those stories, and sometimes you get those people that say, "Oh, I don't want to talk about it. Let me just have a drink and sing a song with your karaoke machine over there, and I don't want to talk about what happened in Vietnam or in Afghanistan or even in Korea." Or sometimes we get a guy comes in, walker, wheelchair, World War II. You know, we still got a few of those around there. But I noticed that you have a song that is out there 1 month ago, and I appreciate it, and I hope that the veterans appreciate it. He's on a Trip. I want you to tell me what inspired you to do He's on a Trip, man.
Well, it started off, I was sitting in a restaurant one day trying to figure out a song, and I wanted to use a phrase with a nursery rhyme type effect to it. And, he knows Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, and this, that, and the other. And I just got to thinking about the controversial issues we have in today's world. And I thought, a lot of my friends, that was my era. I was fortunate enough I did not have to go to Vietnam, but I had friends that went. Some came back and don't know they're back, and then some didn't come back at all. And I got to think about the homeless situation, especially with the Vietnam veterans. And so I wrote this song, He's on a Trip, and of course it starts off, I saw him sitting on a park bench smoking a J about half an inch. He was holding a Bible in his hand. And, we all know that people that come back with PTSD and things, that they don't really understand what's going on in life. Well, as a matter of fact, I love to watch the movie Tour of Duty. I don't know if you've seen that, the TV show that went off years ago. No. But it's about Vietnam and about a platoon of soldiers. And a couple of them were getting out. And one of them said, what are you going to do when you go back? Things are so different. He says, oh, man, I'll find my way in. But once he got back home, he realized life was different. It wasn't the same. Mm-hmm. And that's the way these vets are now. And a lot of them are homeless. And we don't pay enough attention to it, Keys. And I was hoping that this song, even though someone said, hey, man, that's real derogatory toward the Vietnam. I said, no, it's not. It's bringing out an issue that needs to be looked at.
Absolutely. My mom, she graduated back in 67, 68, just before she had me in 69. And, she tells me some stories about her friends that just went and didn't come home. And she became a nurse after her third career was a nursing, and she had to deal with some of these people. And since your era is the 60s, you were spot on to write what write about the time Yes, there were drugs involved. Yes, there was, I don't even know if it was called PTSD back then. It was shell shock still. I think they were still making the transition, because in World War II it was shell shock. That man's not right in the head, and he's got problems. But,
that's right.
And they got called baby killer. They got called a lot of names. There was a lot of protest. But then there were a lot of people that were for the soldiers, for the war, always back the soldiers, always. Once again, I wish there wasn't war. No, not many people wish there were war. Maybe the warmongers, whatever that is, whatever that means. Right. But, you got to have a defense. If somebody's getting kicked, somebody's getting bullied, proverbially, maybe a whole country is getting kicked, getting bullied. We got people that can beat the bullies. Hopefully, beat them back.
Yeah, the Vietnam Veterans of America, they actually took that song and put it into their newsletter one Friday as they sent it out, and it went out to over, I don't know, 500,000 veterans or 100,000. I don't know how many it was, but they actually put the link into their newsletter so that listen to the music and just listen to the story behind it.
Yeah, they put it in their newsletter. You got cut off for a second.
Yeah, they put it to the newsletter for all their veterans, their Vietnam vets, that read the letter every week. Excuse me. And I'm just hoping that more people will actually listen to stream the music and listen to the story behind it, because it tells a story. It tells a story about what's going on right now.
Well, once again, I'm a visual person. You got 31 Street Sounds. It looks like they put that music video together. They're credited in the beginning with it. But, it's got pictures of you. It's got pictures of some vets or maybe actors possibly that are acting like vets. I don't know. How true to life was this? Were you involved in making this video, or was this something that 31 Street Studios helped you out with?
Well, 31 actually mine, and I created the video myself and put it together and then put it out for the world to see.
Okay, this darn internet. 31 Street Studios is what?
31 Street Sounds Productions is my company. It's my production company. That's my company. I run everything through, and we do videos and all type things. And I put that video together myself and distribute it through my company, my production company.
Well, that's fantastic. Why 31 Street Studios? Is that where you lived in Macon?
No, the street that I live off of is 31st Street. But when I was when I was trying to figure out a name for it, I thought, man, 31st Street sounds like New York. It's just got a good feel to it. 31st Street Sounds. And so I established it, I adopted it, and that's what I use now. Yeah,
it definitely sounds big city because, when you got 31 streets, that's quite a few. Usually if it's a small town, it's a main street and maybe Avenue A and Avenue B, and that's about it, but you got a big town. The more numbers, the more town. So you were smart. You were spot on that one too. Man, Gary Matheny, there's another thing. Here's something that we did not talk about last time, and it's along the same lines. Is Gary Matheny the author? You have a book out there called Bullet, and I spent the last, maybe the last week or two thinking about, and here's maybe one of the most famous bullets or couple of bullets ever in the history of the United States. I've been listening to a podcast about the JFK assassination, where Oswald, from 100 yards away, supposedly, or, factually, who knows, at this point in time, it's been argued, took a bullet, full metal jacket. That's, the kind of bullet that will pass through someone, and it's made in a full metal jacket to pass through and wound, not necessarily kill. That's the bullet that hit JFK in the back and then went through Governor Connolly in front of JFK and kind of hit him as well, and that's the magic bullet, But tell me what your story, I didn't get a chance to read it, your story, Bullet, of the intriguing story of a bullet and its travel through time. What inspired you to write that? And my goodness, Gary Matheny, you're a writer.
There was a movie on Sunday afternoon. I think Nicolas Cage was in it, and they were two Ukrainian brothers. They were running arms back and forth across the ocean, and something in there showed a truckload or a trailer load of bullets, ammunition. And I looked at my wife and I said, I wonder what it would be like to trace a bullet from its inception till it's used. And she says, I don't know. So I went upstairs to my office and started writing. About 2 years later, I come out with a book. And what I did was, Keys, I took 4 people. I started in World War II, went into Korea, Vietnam, and then into the streets of Miami, into a deputy sheriff's rifle, a gun. And each time the bullet is handed down to the next generation in such a unique way that you have to follow it and read to see where it goes next. And so at the end, there is the bullet is actually used, but the bullet is somewhat started off as a good luck piece because something happened and the bullet wasn't used and the soldier actually survived and he just tossed it up as a good luck charm. So it got passed down to these people, but they're all connected. And the beauty part about the book is being 4 different families from 4 different generations. You actually are part of that family. You are sitting there listening to what's going on around, watching what's happening as the bullet is handed down to the different places. It was really something I sit back and I said, dang, did I write that? I mean,
yeah, I'm the kind of guy, I don't own a gun personally, but I'm not against people owning guns. But from the perspective of a bullet, that is an interesting way to think about the, whether, okay, look, there's a lot of shootings out there, a lot of people getting killed with guns. There's people that use guns to protect. I mean, I hire a man with a gun or several people with guns every single day. I pay a whole police department full of people with guns, good guys. Hopefully they're good guys. I mean, everybody's got their ideas, what is good, what is bad. But for the most part, I trust a police department. I trust that they've done their training, that they're doing their job. But I hire this man with a gun to protect me. I mean, that's an important job and a hard job. Yeah. But what is your experience with guns? Are you a gun owner or do you hunt?
Yeah. We used to do a lot of hunting when I was growing up. We did a lot of bird hunting, and I had to actually stop because in February down in middle Georgia, it gets warm in the afternoons, and I stepped over too many fence rows and be a rattlesnake down under my feet. And so I got too old, got scared. I had to quit. So, but we have gone out and done some target practicing and things. But I don't necessarily pack a gun all the time on me. The world's crazy, but I don't know. But this book, The Bullet, I've had more and more people tell me that it would make a great movie. And I would love for somebody to jump in and say, hey, send it to me. We'd love to look at it. And Keys, with the type programming we've got on TV nowadays, this would be, in my opinion, not because it's mine, but the story would be an excellent story for TV because it's interesting.
Well, the 2 things that I'm thinking about that feature the bullet very in pop culture for me, this is 2 things that popped into my head. The first one that just popped in my head was the Numb video, Linkin Park's Numb. And the whole thing is the bullet travels through the song. Right. Starts off with firing a weapon and the bullet travels through and it shows it hitting glasses and cars. I mean, this is talk about a magic bullet. This one is going through buildings, hitting walls, smashing through many things. It's about 3 minutes of following the trace of this bullet. And the other thing that I'm thinking about is the Angelina Jolie vehicle called Wanted, where they say curve the bullet. That's the only thing I remember about that film. But I thought it was kind of an interesting idea where you can kind of flip your wrist a little bit and curve a bullet around a corner. I know that there's weapons that were made for war that have curved barrels to shoot around corners. At least I've seen those in movies. I've never, I was almost in the Navy. I never got in the armed forces. My brother was in the Navy, and maybe he can speak to whether these weapons are real. But, the bullets, all right, my father-in-law was a policeman, so I don't own a gun, but my wife owns a gun. She's got a 38, right. Police special. I don't know the last time she shot it. I think we need to take it out and do some practicing with it so that way we don't shoot ourselves in the foot in case, God forbid, something ever does happen. But does it make you feel? Do you have a gun in the house, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
So does it make you feel a little safer, a little more protected?
No, because I tell you, I would hate to have to pull one on someone. I really would. I mean, I'm just not that kind of guy. I feel like you might need it for protection, especially in today's world. But I'm not really looking forward ever to the day I'd have to pull one on someone. And I just think it would be something it'd be hard to live with the rest of your life, But hey, listen, I love playing guitar and singing. I'd rather do that than fight any day.
way to steer me back on track. Well, because I think that most movies where a guy points a gun and then starts talking, my wife often says, "Just pull that trigger. Just pull the trigger. Just wait. If you're gonna point a gun, you better be dang well ready to use that thing." Because I'm with you, man. I don't think I could live with myself if even accidentally. I ever killed someone, and I've known people that have accidentally killed people, not with just guns, but with cars and just accidentally, that guy fell down the stairs accidentally, it'd be
difficult.
Oh my goodness. How can you live with yourself the whole rest of your life? But you got to move on. We overcome, we adapt, and hey, you're doing it right. Music changes minds, changes feelings. You're writing about things. I'm impressed that you wrote a book. How long ago was this book written? And I mean, how long did it take to write this book?
Oh, I published my first book in 2010 called "The Shoe Fits, Wear It." It was a story about my days in the shoe business. It was kind of like an autobiography type thing. But this one, excuse me, and it took about 2 years for me to actually write it. And I was actually working at the time, traveling. And what I would do is, as I was riding down the road or something, I get an idea, I jot it down on a piece of paper, and I come home at night, and on Thursday night when I got home, and I spent an hour or two in my office writing. My wife would call up to the office. She'd say, "Are you coming down tonight? I mean, you've been gone all week." And I'm sitting there, "Yeah, I'll be down a little bit. I'm writing." And so it was difficult, but it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, but once you get into a groove, I can't imagine. I don't type very well. I don't. Well, do you do it on a typewriter, or do you do it on a computer or word processor, or do you write it out longhand?
Computer. I do it on computer. That way, I can go back and change things and move things around. There's times when I get through with a chapter, I go back and say, that chapter didn't seem long enough, so I go back and reread, start adding stuff to it. It's fun. What's so fun about it is the imagination part of it. You use your imagination, and I would not read books while I was writing, because I did not want to read something and then plagiarize it. So I just would not read books. And if a war story came on TV, I changed the channel. I just couldn't, and I did not want to. It was just fun. And a lot of it was memory. A lot of it was stories I'd heard from people from Vietnam. A lot of it I made up. So, it was just fun to write.
Well, both of your books are available there on Amazon. And if you've got a Kindle, like the Kindle edition, I guess they're available for free if you join. Sure. Hopefully you get a couple of pennies off of Amazon. But if the shoe fits, wear it. I love that you took that subject and made a book out of it. If the shoe fits, wear it. The life and times of a shoe salesman. Now, this is what you did, for 40 years while you were waiting to get back in the music career, or what?
No, I was on the shoe business from the time I was 16 till about 22, 23.
Okay.
I started off selling shoes as a teenager, and then I moved to North Carolina in management with a shoe company, then came back home. My brother and I, when I was 19 years old, he was 22, we opened up 2 shoe stores in where we lived in Macon, Georgia. And one day, it was funny, he had waited on a customer, and he had about 20 pairs of shoes out, and she got up and said, "Well, I'll think about it and come back." So he got up and looked at me. He says, "One day we ought to write a book about this." And I said, "Well, what will we call it?" He said, "If the shoe fits, wear it." Well, Keys, 33 years later, I'm sitting on a cruise ship. My wife is taking a nap, and I'm sitting in the tiki bar on the Lido deck, and I grab a napkin and a pen and start writing. And it became a book.
Amazing. I've not written a book, let alone 2 books. That is fantastic, man. And you've given that to the world. These are, like I said, they're available on Amazon. I'm going to put the links in the show notes. That way people can at least go to see that. You got your YouTube videos. You got music coming out. Another thing that we talked about last time, and I do want to follow up on it. Have you been on stage yet? Yeah, you did. You weren't going on stage, man.
Well, back in the first of the year, are you familiar with a group called the Outsiders?
Yeah. Is that the one with the? That's the one that was like giving you a lot of different advice, right?
Well, no, the Outsiders. We became friends through the record company we was with, and Ricky Baggiola. He's the original drummer for the Outsiders, the original Outsider band. Well, I went to Cleveland, Ohio, and did 2 sets with them 2 different nights. Up there. So, yeah, I have done some stage work. I did a production here in Cleveland, country music production, where they went in and did the history of country music. I did a Glenn Campbell and a John Denver song. We're in the process now of getting together, doing some EPK videos next year. And from that, we're going to start getting out on stage. It's just a slow process, Yeah, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it this coming year. We're going to get out there this year. But
you're keeping up with the times. You're able to do this electronical stuff, this online, that you're able to stream. You were doing a whole lot of live streaming last time we chit-chatted. Are you still doing a lot of live streaming?
Not as much, but I will start back doing some of that, pulling out a song or 2 and doing a little live video. Most of that was done during COVID because you couldn't get out. But I'm going to be honest with you, it has been so busy trying to market myself that I don't find as much time to write. My daughter is a kindergarten teacher, and 2 years ago, they had, believe it or not, kindergarten had career day, right? Kindergarten.
Okay.
And so she called me. She said, "Dad, would you come down and play your guitar for career day?" So I said, "Yeah, I'd do it." So I sat in her room, and about 7 classes of kids rotated in and out. And so you want to see the little letters I got back from people, from the kids, and from their mama saying, "Hey, they were so impressed with him playing guitar." But I've written a little song for her kindergarten class I'm trying to put together so that she can take it back to them and play for them.
Yeah.
And I like doing stuff like that. Kids impress me because they're so full of energy and so full of wonderment that it just impresses me. And I just sit and listen to them.
Here's the cynical song that I thought of. Hey, kids, don't be an artist because you're going to be starving. Go be a doctor or a lawyer or learn about whatever, a businessman.
Yeah, if you don't want to starve to death, don't pick up the guitar.
But if you want to impress girls, hey.
That's right. Hey, yeah, if you want to impress girls, you can do it. We had one of the guys that I'm friends with, his wife said, "Oh, yes, I remember you from high school." Says, "All the girls wanted your autograph because you was in a band and all this." I'm thinking, yeah, right.
That's right. The good guys. The good guys. Hey, you ever going to get the band back together? How many of the good guys are you still in contact with?
Well, 2 of them. One of them has passed. Well, my brother was actually 3 of them. Then my brother, one of them passed away, our bass player. But and of course, the other one, he stayed in the Army for 40 years, and he just plays at church. And another one was playing drums with some bands around, and my brother doesn't play anymore. I'm probably the only one that's really active of all of them. And hey, listen, I'm gonna stay active as long as I can pick up a guitar and speak. Yeah,
I want you to get the good guys back together. I just watched the Beatles get back. I watched that whole almost 7 hours worth of content there. But then I saw the making of their brand new song featuring John Lennon and featuring George Harrison. I mean, these 2 gentlemen have been passed for a long time, but they found some old recordings of them and put this all together. And now there's a brand new Beatles song. So if I can get a brand new Good Guys song, that would be fantastic.
That's a great idea. I've never thought about that, but that is an awesome idea. A bunch of old guys that used to play together when they were 12, 13, 14 years old and get back together and start doing the music again. That's awesome. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, there's a movie called The Five Heartbeats, and they were a group. Supposedly it was like a fake group, but back in the 60s,
right.
Kind of like the Four Tops or the Temptations, that kind of a group. But then they got back together when they were older at a barbecue, and their song was "Got Nothing But Love for You, Baby." And it was a bunch of old guys seeing if they still got the moves, if they could still make it happen. Hey, they were entertaining their own family and their own friends back there. So if you can make them happy, you can make the wife happy. That's pretty much all you got to impress your girl. But I'd love to see you get the band back together. But I'm glad you found a group of guys, the Outsiders, or at least a piece of the Outsiders, part of the band, to play with in Ohio. That's one of the things that we were talking about. Cindy Nini and Tara Kai Maines. I had her on the podcast just recently. And, over at Big Records, I know we're supposed to be talking about Big Records and all the great things that are happening over there. You said that promoting yourself is taking up a lot of time. I want them to take some of the time off your hands, man. Give them some passwords and let them do some of the posting. Send them have them bring a camera out. But tell me, how's your relationship with your promotion team?
Listen, hell, those guys, Pamela, Cindy, those people are just great people, man. I love them. Got an alarm going off there. Sorry.
No problem.
But I do a lot of my promoting because, as a matter of fact, I did an interview this morning, a print interview with Academia, one of their magazines. I've done a couple of magazines with Shout Out Miami, the National Voyager magazine. I tell you, I'm still trying to get in Rolling Stone. I cannot get Rolling Stone to return my number. And I tell them all the time, I say, hey, guys, you always cover the big artists, but indie artists are the up-and-coming thing, man. Grab an indie artist, and I'm the guy to grab. I mean, come on, do an article on me. So I'm trying my best to get as much print. I contacted a paper in Alaska the other day, and I said, hey, why not? Alaska,
I mean, that's a place you ought to be. I collected Rolling Stone, and not just for the articles. I read them cover to cover for sure. And then I took those magazines, put them in plastic, and put them up on my wall as a kid. I had the Rolling Stone when it was huge, a big giant. Then I remember, I think it was Madonna that was the first issue that they shrunk the magazine down, and I had that subscription. I went, hey, what gives? But the artwork was better. The print paper was better. But I remember the old pulp that was bigger, and I had a great time with Rolling Stone. For me, that is the ultimate. That is a staple. That taught me a lot about music and a lot about behind the scenes. I know we talked about you making CDs still, and I remember reading the art, looking at the artwork, reading the liner notes, and reading about the stories about the people. I want you to do that. If you're still making CDs, take the time to put a little bio in there. I know people don't even have to have bios in their CDs. They got them on their website, and that's pretty much what you got. You got them on their website.
Well, I like to be able to touch something. I mean, the Spotify and Apple Music is great if you're riding in the car, but I miss the days when you go into a music store and you pick up an album and, man, you look at it. I can remember when I was 16 or 17, I sold the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour, long playing album, the LP, for $1.50. And I think, where was your head, man? The Rascals, just picking up CDs, LPs, look at the covers, read about them. I miss those. I wish we still had record stores that did things like that.
The Rascals. Good loving. Give them that good loving. Yeah. No, every time somebody, I get to run karaoke shows at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. And there's, it's old farts like me, and older, that sing all these good old songs. And every time, every time somebody sings Bee Gees, Got to Get a Message to You, that is the first, I can say that's the first 45 that I owned. And I can't remember what was on the B side of that, or if that was the B side. I can't remember what the other side of that, but I do have a radio guy that comes in and he sings Got to Get a Message to You. And I go, that's my song. But I remember the
Yeah.
Gordon Lightfoot, Gord's Gold, Eagles, Greatest Hits. The Eagles are making a Greatest Hits album, and they're not even halfway through their career. And this is back, in '75, and you're like, what? And people are like, why are you making a Greatest Hits album? You haven't been doing it all that long. But I'm remembering the liner notes. That was an 8-track that I owned.
Oh, listen, I remember for Christmas, I got an 8-track of, who was it? I can't think of the names now, but it was like a prized possession. That's what I got for Christmas, that 8-track. And, but now I am working on, I've got about 5 singles that I've done over the last year and a half since Renaissance Man came out. And I'm working on an EP. And going to add some things to it. Going to maybe go ahead and make it an actual new album. But I've got one song, Keys, that I don't know if you're familiar with on Cashbox Magazine right now. Actually, I got 2 of them, but one song, Back Where I Belong, has hit number 10 in November, Cashbox Top 100. And I just was blown away. And He's on a Trip is at number 80. So I'm making some headway with some of the DJs and things around the country. They're actually playing my music, and that is inspiring.
So inspiring. And one thing that we since the last time that we talked, we lost my one of my best friends, Jimmy Buffett. And,
oh yes,
and you have a song that we talked about, Solo Dos Gatos, very much in line, in tune with that feeling of being out on the beach, having a couple drinks with the buddies, going out and just living that parrot head life. Now, if you had your group of fans, your fan club, what are you calling your fans?
Basically fans. I've started doing a fan of the week. I've been doing it for about the last 12 weeks. And I actually pick out someone randomly that fan of the week. And I send them a certificate, a picture signed, and a CD, and put them all over Facebook. Hey, my fan of the week. And I love doing that because these people, they share me. They like my music. They like my post, and that's all they get for it. And so I like to. I don't do it to make them think that I'm that great. I do it because they're fans. I've got one guy down in Florida. He's got a big sailboat, and he's been after me in Jacksonville to come down and get on the boat with him and go for stay with him and his family. And right now he's running through a tough battle of illness. But he told me the other day, he says, we're looking forward to coming on the boat. He said a couple cigars and some margaritas or shots of tequila and sailing on the river. And I told him I'm looking forward to it as well. And I thought, man, wouldn't that be great to be able to have a video and do videos of being on that sailboat and the Jimmy Buffett types? Oh man, that'd be awesome. And we're going to do it. We're going to do it next spring and summer. It's going to be a good thing.
Well, I hope your friend feels a whole lot better and gets well soon. Whatever he's going through. Hope that goes away. But you're doing it the right way. You're doing it grassroots. You're doing it the old fashioned way, one fan at a time. If I ever get the chance to hold somebody's cell phone, I'm going straight to their Spotify and I'm hitting subscribe on the What Makes You Famous podcast. So grassroots. Oh yeah, I've done that. I've gotten new listeners just by, hey, let me borrow your phone for a second. Open up your Spotify. Let me get that Gary Matheny song playing on there a little bit. But I encourage my loyal listener to check out that Solo Dos Gatos. Very fun backyard. Even if you can't make it to the beach, hit the backyard barbecue with that song. Beautiful.
Yep. That was a fun song. And the video we did was absolutely fabulous to do. We had a good time doing the video.
Yeah, where's that bar, man? We need to put that on the What Makes You Famous walking tour.
Oh, that is Singleton Seafood Shop. And let me tell you a story about that.
Please.
I was looking for a place to go, and I did not want an upscale bar because this song would not have held an upscale bar. I wanted a place that looked like a biker joint. And somewhere that 2 old guys could afford to go and sit and drink beer and margaritas. And so I got on the internet, started looking, and I saw this place. And it was not far from my brother lives down in Jacksonville. This is in Mayport. So I get in the car and I drive to Mayport, and I come up, and it's got a sign that says closed on his door. And I'm thinking, oh, no. So I see a number, and I call him, and I said, hey, I'm Gary Matheny and da-da-da. So are you closed for good? He says, oh, no. We're just remodeling. He said, we'll be open in about another 2 months. And so I said, well, let me tell you what I'm wanting to do. I said, I'm wanting to shoot a music video. He says, no joking. You want to use my place? I said, yeah. And he said, well, it's funny you do that. He said, we had a movie cut here. They pulled in 2 big old trailers. He said, shut me down for 2 weeks and did a big movie with, I can't remember, Sharon Stone and someone else. And he said, then Guy Fieri came down and did drive-in dives and burgers at my place. He said, now I got a music video. He said, yes. So it's Singleton's Seafood Shop in Mayport, Florida. And it's got absolutely fabulous food. But Dean and Tabitha, they are terrific people. They take care of their customers. And I'm anxious to get back down there and maybe do another video. I've got another song called Muchas Margaritas, which is in the same vein. And I want to go back down and do another video down there.
Well, I think that might be the direction you need to go into for sure. And I'm glad you give credit where credit is due. What I want you to do is whoever's doing your YouTube, and you said that you were doing a lot of your own videos, your own uploading, is put a description in your YouTube videos, just kind of like the liner notes, like that Rosalie song. I want to know who that dancer is. I want to be able to follow that dancer around. He's on a trip, who are the actors in that song? And on the Solo Dos Gatos, make sure that you put that in the description, because I'm for sure putting the description. I got GaryMatheny.net. I got your Facebook pages, the music page, and the new page that I just found for your authorship, because I want people to read or listen to those 2 books. Hey, are those books available on audio? Because that's how I listen to books now.
No, they're not available audio, but they are on the Kindle. One correction I wish you'd make is the GaryMatheny.net has been changed to GaryMatheny.com.
You got it, Mr.
We actually bought the .com platform, and so now I've got my own .com.
That makes a heck of a lot more sense, man, because people go, what is .net? But it's, sometimes you just can't get it. But no, that's fantastic. Right. Look, I don't want to take a lot of time. Are there any other avenues we need to explore? Where's the next place that people can see Gary Matheny live on stage in front of 50,000 people or 100 of his closest friends? I don't care. Where can people go see you?
Well, probably this coming May when I go out to Los Angeles Academy to be inducted to the Hall of Fame. That's going to be it's going to be streaming. And that's going to be a very, very important night. Other than that, I'm going to probably, hopefully, have some EPK type videos coming out sometime soon. I've spoken with some folks, and we're hoping to do some stage work coming up. Like I say, right now with Christmas and the holidays, things are kind of on hold, and nobody really wants to do anything but listen to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and celebrate with family and friends. So once that gets going, we're working on next year's agendas. We're going to try to get some things out and get a little more publicity out there.
Well, don't forget to listen to the Christmas Long Ago, that video. Just watch a couple guys, three guys with the guitar, 2 guitars, and a stand-up bass. Man, that's fantastic. But, hey, I don't want to take a lot more of your time. I'm so happy that we got a chance to chit-chat some more and catch up, see what's happening. Give some shout-outs to people that have helped you along the way, or people that are helping you right nowadays. That Academia, so excited. Fantastic, man.
Yeah. Randall Wiles at Wiles and Associates, which is Cashbox Magazine, Millennium Music Group. They are great. I can't go remiss without Lee Jordan. He actually did recorded my first song that I wrote. And then Brian Hedges, he's given me so much advice. And my wife and my family for supporting me. And just, in general, my fans, man, people that listen to me and they give me the encouragement, because there are really days where you look up and say, why am I continuing to do this? And then you read a post, somebody says, man, I really like that Juliet video, or I really like Solo Dos Gatos, or this, that, and the other. And it just, or I get a stat back and it shows one of my songs is bumped up 2 notches. And I'm thinking, well, that's why I'm doing it, because I love it. I love it. But all of my fans and you guys that have me on and put me out to all of your people, y'all are great. There's where indie artists get their publicity from, is people like you guys that believe in us too. And so if you didn't care what we do, then you wouldn't take your time to do what you do.
Well, I think you need to put it out on your fan page or your own Facebook page or even on your website that you need a name for your fans. The Taylor Swift's got the Swifties. Was it Lady Gaga's got the Monsters? Justin Bieber's got the Beliebers. I'm going to throw one out there. The Mathenians.
Oh man, yeah. Or the Island Bums or something.
That's fantastic. Just throw it out there. Get an official fan page with the name on that fan page. Fans can come in and say whatever they want, clean, within reason. Come on, people. Be good to each other. But hey, I always finish these things off with last words for the people. This could be words of advice you heard a long time ago, maybe a mantra you wake up with every morning, or just whatever pops into your head at this moment in time. Gary Matheny, give the last word for the people.
Well, the only thing I can really say is that my talent is God-given, and I just want to use it to further and make people happy. And if I can make people smile every day, if I can make one person smile, man, I've done a good job. And I love to make people laugh.
Well, there you have it, party people. Gary Matheny, once again, we get to catch up. We caught up with Gary Matheny. What's going on now? Yes, he got on stage. Yes, he's making new songs. Yes, he's getting accolades. Yes, he's going to California for the Academia of Music Awards. Yes. Oh my goodness. He's doing great things. Gary Matheny, keep doing what you're doing because you're banging. You're good. You're doing wonderful things. And that song, Solo Dos Gatos, good fun timey song. Rosalie, song that just makes you feel a certain kind of way, and that he's on a trip. Man, for the soldiers, for the people that have fought, for the freedoms, they're doing what they can to bat those bullies down. I wish we didn't have war, but you got to take care of the veterans. Take care of the people that are fighting for us. Hey, I wanted to go into the Navy, but I got in a motorcycle wreck, not in the Navy. We'll talk about that maybe later. Or if you want to hear more, heck, it's not about my story. It's Gary Matheny today. Make sure you look him up on GaryMatheny.com. He bought the .com. So let me switch that right now in the show notes. COM. So GaryMatheny.com. And then follow him on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud. Check out his books on Amazon. I got the link right there in the show notes. All right, that's it for this edition of What Makes You Famous. Thanks again, Gary Matheny, for coming on. Now, if you, my loyal listener, if you'd like to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call, 501-470-6386, or email keysdan@aol.com. That's it for me. It's KeysDan, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.